Hey, 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 it's Opinions with DEZ. I'm DEZ and I'm here on a solo today. It is just me and I'm just gonna tell y'all a little bit about me. Like, people that don't know me on a day-to-day basis, here's the get to know me. I'm 43. I am probably considered a stay-at-home person because I do work from the home. My life's pretty boring. That wasn't very good, was it? I'm just kidding. Basically, I do the same shit every day. Like, I wake up, immediately upon getting my ass out of the bed, I drive down to the local gas station and they have blueberry coffee, blueberry flavored coffee. And when I tell you that it is phenomenal, chef's kiss, perfect. I have my own little way of drinking it. I'll also share that today. Let's get to know me. Get to know me. So in my coffee, I go down to the gas station. I get me a cup, 24-ounce cup. I put about 5 shots of the Splenda, I guess, you know, the little push shots, and a little bit of cream, and then I put some ice in it, and then I shake that around, and then I go fill it up with the blueberry coffee, and I'm gonna say it again, it is yum, so good. That is what gets me awake in the morning. Then when I get back, I bake. I have been a daily stoner for 5 or 6 years. So I do normally wake and bake, have coffee, smoke some pot, sit on the back porch. On the weekends, it's with my husband. During the week, it's just me and my lonesome. My doggies sit with me. And I love to meditate. Is that crazy? Like, I can sit out on the porch with zero noise. Just the dogs playing in the yard and listen to that and the birds chirping and the sound of the trees blowing for hours. Like, that is my choice over sitting inside watching TV. Now, when I say TV, I mean sit down and watch a show on TV. That is not me. I don't do that at all, actually. But if you give me a phone and I can scroll, I'm a scrolling whore. Like, I will scroll a TikTok all day long. I will also scroll Facebook, Instagram. Like, I'm a scroller. But I'll put it down, pick it up, scroll a little bit, put it down, do something else. Like, I'm not a TV watcher. So I do get up in the morning, get my coffee, smoke my pot, brush my teeth. And that sounds really fucking bad. I don't do much. Like, I literally just hang out with the dogs. I don't turn TV on. Sometimes I do turn music on. I sit in this space a lot. I'm usually at my desk, not necessarily on this end, but this is my space, and it is very relaxing and comforting, and I spend a lot of time in here. If I'm not in here, I'm doing laundry or loading the dishwasher. And every few days I do the floors because we have 2 puppies and they love to run around in the mud and trumpet back in my house. So I use a dust mop usually daily, and then I mop the floors or try to a couple times a week, but again, I'm just telling you what I do. So that's pretty much my day-to-day routine. I am very consistent in being boring. Very. Let's talk about some hobbies. Photography started out as a hobby. Now that is more my career path, but definitely that started out as something that I 1,000,000% thoroughly enjoyed. Other things that I thoroughly enjoy is rocks, gravels, like it's in your driveway. I don't know what it is about rocks, but I find myself mesmerized by them. All of them. Like, it doesn't matter, granite, sandstone, like just a lot of stuff that we have here locally. Granite is huge here locally, but no, I'm sorry, I said granite. I meant is it granite? Maybe it is. I can't remember. But I like, if you are a rock person, you know that rocks, anyone that loves rocks knows that the top of the line rock is agate. And everywhere I go, and this is people that do know me, it doesn't matter where I go. If I'm at a picture appointment, if I'm hanging out with you at your house and I see rocks and they have a shine to them, like if the sun hits it and it sends a sparkle, or if there's just colors, vibrant colors, like you can bet your ass that before I leave that space, I'm gonna check them out. I love rocks. I love being outside in general. I'm an outside girly. Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy some air conditioning. But I love being outside. Something else that I thoroughly enjoy having, even though this winter I about killed them, is plants. And I have several house plants, and I love them. I talk to them a lot. And not about anything in particular, just like, hey baby, how you doing? But I do talk to my plants. I sing to them sometimes. And normally I have very vibrant, thriving plants. Now this winter, they about died. But I will say that since summer has arrived, they have all came back to beautiful again. So hobbies of mine are pretty slim. I like to play with rocks. I love to be outside. I love plants, again, outside. And I love to meditate. Like, just to sit with nothing and listen to my own thoughts. Like, I love to do that. Fears of mine. Well, let's see. A big fear that I have is losing things that I love. And if I feel like I'm going to lose them, I will push them away before I allow it to hurt me. That's a fear. Losing things that I truly love. I used to have a huge fear of spiders, but I don't have that anymore. Now, I'm not saying I'm not scared of some spiders, because, you know, anything that has like a bunch of legs is pretty terrifying. But those little jumping spiders, after coming in contact with the old Ticker Talk, and there is so many videos and people on there that have jumping spiders as pets, and I have, in my older age, found a love for jumping spiders. So that used to be a fear. I'm going to say in here that you can overcome fears. Face them. Face your fears and you can overcome them, because I did do that with spiders. Likes. I love neon light. I love anything that has bright colors. I love positivity. I love flowers. I love spending time with my husband. I love seeing my son genuinely happy with this abundance of feel-goodness that he has. I love that. I said likes. I'm going to go with loves. I love all of this. I'm more of a lover, not a liker. If you are someone that knows me on a personal level and you have me on social media, you will know that if I like something, that's just very rare. 9 times out of 10, if I'm going to respond to something on any social media, it's a love. Always, I'm a love. So instead of likes, we're going to go with loves, because I love. Let's see. I love animals. I love all animals, and I feel connected to animals. Like the way my animals especially, the way they look at me, tilt their head, bark. I feel like inside I know what they're asking for, what they need. So I do feel a connection, very strong connection with animals, especially my own animals. I'm going to talk about me and drugs and alcohol. Drugs, prescription, over-the-counter, pots. Like, I don't take any drugs that are not prescribed to me, and that including pot. I have been prescribed pot, I want to say for 6 years, maybe even longer. And I did smoke before. I did use pot prior to becoming legal on it, but that is the only time in my adult life that I have ever chose to do something that was not prescribed to me with medical advice. And even while I was using it prior to it becoming legalized, and when I say legalized, I mean legal in the medical form, because I have been legally using marijuana since it became legal in medical form in Ohio. But even before that, the doctor, he is no longer practicing, but the doctor that I had was very aware that I was using, because I'm a Pisces, and I'm going to explain that in this way. I am the most private, open book you'll ever meet. And what I mean by that is I share everything that I want to share. But there is things about me that no one knows. No one. So, as far as drugs and alcohol go, I do take a few, I can take a few medical prescribed medicines. I take an antidepressant. I think that sometimes people are so ashamed of admitting that they need medicine to help them survive daily life, and I'm not ashamed of that. I've been taking an antidepressant on the daily basis since my son was 3 years old, and he is 22. So that would be 19 years. And I have zero thoughts of coming off of it. Like, I it makes, I believe, this is Get to Know DEZ, my beliefs. I believe that sometimes our body's chemical makeup is lacking certain things. And if you are lacking serotonin for your brain, the level of depression that you can hit is sometimes unbearable. And maybe it's not anything that you have done, but just because you need it. Like, I feel like some people just need it in order to feel complete, and that's me. I need it. Now, did I have horrific things that happened to me at a younger age? Absolutely. Is that the cause of it? Maybe so. I don't know. But I have taken an antidepressant for going on 20 years, and I do not regret 1 ounce of starting that medication 20 years ago. It was life-changing for me and my family. Other drugs that I take are strictly medication that is supplementing something that I have had taken out of my body. Thyroid. My thyroid does not work correctly, so I take medication for that. I have had a full hysterectomy, so I do take a hormone for that. And I'm a daily stoner. There's my drug addictions. As far as alcohol goes, I could go years and not taste alcohol. And I have a zero, like my feel good comes from pot, not alcohol. Will I drink? Absolutely. My husband and I just bought a couple bottles of alcohol the other day, and we have been drinking a drink in the evening. But when I say that if it's not available, I don't go looking for it. I don't go looking for it. I could give or take alcohol at any time. Let's talk about surgeries that I've had. Surgeries. I've had a full hysterectomy. I got that done when I was like 33, 34, I want to say. 32. Somewhere in the early 30s, hell, I can't remember. I did have a full hysterectomy. I had a lot of cysts on my ovaries. That's what caused that. They progressed. It ended up a couple years of monitoring it, and then it was gone. It's like they decided to just take it out. So I had that done. It's been about 10 years ago, and I have had 0 complications with that. Other surgeries I had when I was younger, I was well endowed in the breast department. And I'm not saying that I have small breasts now, I don't, but I'm talking, I had like a 36 triple D. And then after I had my son, anyone that has had a baby knows that your breasts absolutely enlarge after childbirth, and sometimes they go back to normal. I think it depends if you choose to breastfeed or not choose. I did choose to breastfeed, and I did that for about 15 months. So when I was done with that process, my breasts looked like tube socks or deflated balloons. That's better. Kind of like a deflated balloon. And I had a breast reduction done before my hysterectomy. So probably again, very late 20s, very early 30s, maybe right at 30. I had a breast reduction taken down. My breasts were taken from, at the time, they were a 40 triple D, and they took me down, and I ended up being a 38C. Still to this day, I'm about a 36 C or D, so that was successful. I have no regrets on that. If you are thinking of having a breast reduction for whatever reason it is for you, I will say that the reason for me was migraines, a lot of shoulder pain, not necessarily cosmetic, but I'm 1,000,000% happy that I did it. Everything that I had there was great. I've also had my gallbladder removed. That was a pretty horrific. The gallbladder is something so tiny in our body, but when you have a gallbladder attack, wow. I was in my early 20s, and I was working at GDC, and I ate some really greasy pizza. And on the way home that day, I got off at 3:15. I was on my way home, so I got home right about 4 o'clock. And my chest, like right between my breast, just down just a little bit. The pain was indescribable. And I literally came home and told my husband I thought I was having a heart attack. Anyway, we end up at the emergency room. They tell me that I'm having a gallbladder attack and that I should probably see a regular doctor. And like I said, this is in my early 20s, so I didn't really have a regular doctor. Let's see. Actually, I would have gotten my gallbladder, I'm going to say 24. Around 23, 24 is when I lost my gallbladder. It was a massive attack. The attack never fully stopped. It was intense, very intense pain for days. I ended up actually at the emergency room in Chillicothe at Adena, and they admitted me into the hospital and took it out emergency. And that was the best surgery to wake up from. There, I went into surgery in pain and came out of surgery with zero pain. And that was amazing. I talked about my daily routine, which is boring as fuck. I don't do shit. Sometimes being a stay-at-home person, and like I'm not a stay-at-home person. I do work. I have activities that I do. But I'm home 90% of the time. Unless I'm out with someone, I'm here. Like I can do the majority of my work right from this room. So being alone plays a toll on a person, even if you don't think that it would or does. I quit GDC, which was my full-time job, my 9 to 5 days a week. I quit that in 2014, and since then I have done my own thing, and there was times in the beginning that I hit really hard depression. Being alone and not having any adult interaction. I was not a stay-at-home mom with a child, but I will say that being home alone with no adult conversation wears on a person's mind very quickly. It doesn't take long for you to become lonely and bored. So my daily routine, like I said, I get out of bed. I don't do much on the daily. I will go ahead and say shower and hair routine. Again, this is Get to Know DEZ. Hi. I only shower when I feel like I'm dirty. So I'm not saying that I go weeks without showering, but I do go days. And when I say days, I mean like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 in the winter if I haven't left the house. Haven't had any, major blowouts or pissed myself. You know what I mean? If there's nothing that has happened to cause me to feel dirty, I believe that you should not wash your skin if it doesn't need to be washed. I also, I'm like that with my face. I wash my face. I use a few different types of products on it, but I do not use those daily. I only use those a couple times a week. Every time I shower, it's an everything shower. I lied. Every time I shower, it's an everything shower except for my hair. I only wash my hair once a week, and I'm closer to once every 10 days. So my hair is let's see, today's Thursday. So this is day 5 hair. And there's nothing been put in it. This is just day 5. So I have trained. That's not something that happens overnight. I had a pixie cut for years, and when you have very short hair, you do not need to wash your hair all the time because you don't touch it. Like long hair, I feel like you constantly are pulling it out of your face or pulling it up or you're touching it. But pixie cuts, unless you want to run your fingers through the top of it, there's not really anything there to grab. So I had a pixie cut for probably 10 years. I kept my hair cut really short. And during that time, I trained my hair to go days without washing. Once I started growing it back out, I actually cut it off about a year ago, donated it to a girl that suffers with, I believe it's called alopecia, and she doesn't have hair on her body. So in order for her to have head hair, she has to have wigs. And I donated my hair to her. And when I was growing my hair out for that, I literally would go, I believe it was around 21 days between washings. So I was going about once a month to have my hair washed, and I was having it washed by a really good friend of mine downtown, here local. She offers a head spa service, and it is phenomenal, and I used that for about 6 months. I didn't wash my own hair because I was washing it on such a long period between washings. I could go, like I said, 21 days. I would just go to her and she would do it for me. So I do not think, now let me say this. Right now in Ohio, it is like 85, 90 degrees, and the humidity just makes you pour sweat as soon as you walk outside. If I'm going to be spending any length of time outside and I am going to be nasty and sweaty, I'm going to shower every time that my body feels greasy, like that dirty, nasty feeling. So don't take it that I just don't bathe if I'm nasty, because that's not the case. But I do think that people sometimes bathe too much. And I think that if you are not someone that is willing to commit to using a lotion multiple times a day, then you are really damaging and aging your skin. If you are someone that washes it daily, and that is strictly my opinion and the way I do shit, which obviously is a little crazy. Let's talk about food that I eat. I'm a diabetic, so I'm not allowed to have all food, and that sucks because I like all food. I like it a lot. I love pizza. I love pasta. I don't really miss bread as much as I thought I would. I do still eat potatoes. I'm also very boring and consistent in my diet. When I say that I eat the same shit over and over and over, and I can do that for months or maybe even a year on end. And that's the truth. My husband and I eat Mexican a lot, and the way we eat our Mexican is I choose not to eat the wraps, the bread that comes with the meal that we choose, and that has worked for me in the diabetes department. I am a diet controlled diabetic. I do not take any medicine. And for years I did take medicine. They even tried me on insulin for a moment. That caused me to have severe pancreatitis, so I am allergic to GLP-1s. And yeah. I also drink a drink every day called ketones. It's made by a company called Prove It, and the drink puts your body bio-identically in the same state that you are born into. And when I say born, all people, all newborns come into the state, into this world, in the state of ketosis, meaning that they have never had carbs. So I've been drinking those. They are not something that you can buy over the counter. They are something that you have to buy from the company. The company is called Prove It. And they do all kinds of things for me. They give me mental clarity. They give me a boost of energy. They give me just this feel goodness. They do curb your appetite. And I honestly drink 2 of them every day, and I have for, I'm also going to say about 6 years. Sorry, that was my bestie calling. And I declined it. So sorry, Ash, if you watch this. I was recording. I'm sorry. Back to ketones. That is something that I have been drinking, like I said, at least 2 a day for about 6 years, and I have no desire to stop them ever. I love what they do for me. My views on the world is I don't give a shit. My views on this world is if it doesn't affect me, I don't give a shit. I can't say that loud enough. Like, I do not care what you do in your life. I don't care what you do in your relationship. I don't care what you do in your business. Do not bring any of your bullshit or negativity onto me, or I will have my own view. And you may not like that, and that's okay. But I will say that I 1,000,000% do not give a shit what anybody does in their own life behind their closed doors. And if you do give a shit about what someone is doing, then you yourself have a way bigger issue than you are willing to admit. Daily affirmations, and this is shit that I do every single day. Maybe not every single day, but I damn sure know when I don't do it. I'm just saying that. Get your ass up out of bed in the morning and say, today is going to be a great day. Today is going to bring me abundance. Today is going to bring me prosperity. Today is going to bring me happiness and love and commitment and consistency that I desire and I want. And I ain't gonna lie, God shows up for me every single time. Every time. My strengths versus my weaknesses, and I'm gonna get the hell out of here and leave you guys alone. My strengths. I have one of these, and I feel like it fits both parts, and I'm gonna say this. My strength, a lot of people tell me that I am so strong. And when they say that, they are referring to this about me. And that is, if I get hurt or I feel like something is going to come negative at me, bring negativity to me in any way, I will remove myself from your life faster than you can blink. And I can stay gone forever. That is a strength of mine, because sometimes you are not willing to see the bad in someone that you truly love. That is a weakness of mine, because if anyone, and I mean anyone, no matter how much I love them or how much they bring to the table, even if they don't know it, I also will remove them in fear that they're going to leave me. So that is my biggest strength and also my biggest weakness. Some more huge strengths of mine is when I love you with every part of my being. And when I don't love you, I wish you no harm. But I truly mean this, and that is that you are either a part of me or you're not a part of me. Does that make sense? Like, my heart is so huge that I can love millions of people. But it is also so small and cold that I can delete you like I never met you. I feel like that is a hard one for me, because I don't like that part of myself, yet I don't know how else to be. I will say this. If you are loved by me, you definitely know it. You feel it. Even if I don't see you for months or years, if I come in contact with you, you instantly will know that I love you, because that is me. That's just me. Like, I love forever. When I love you forever. And I love without judgment. I don't give a shit what your past was like. I don't give a shit if you fall off the wagon and you do something that you're not proud of. If you become a person that I'm not proud of, then, like I said, I'll remove myself. But I will not try to make you change, because I believe God made us all, and we're all here for a reason, and we all have a purpose. And not everyone's purpose intertwines. A lot of those clash, and that's why a lot of people don't get along with each other. But it doesn't mean that one's worse than the other, or that one's better than the other. It also doesn't mean that if one person's sins are more openly than the other person's sins that are hidden, it doesn't change the fact that a sin is a sin. And I always try to tell myself that when I am looking at a situation that I want to judge. Just because I look at that and think that that is a bigger sin to me, that man up there sees all sins the same. So, I don't know about y'all, but I find myself sinning every day. And yet I still have God on my side. Thank you guys so much for listening to me blabble a lot today. I blabbled a lot. Anyway, this is just a little bits of tidbits of me, the real me, who I am, what I expect from you, what I give to you, what I bring to the table, what I want brought to the table, my beliefs, my love. This is me. I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday. I will see you soon.